is Jasmine Crowe, and I am the founder of Goodr and Black Celebrity Giving. My journey to Start Hunger began in about 2008 when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona. I volunteered at a once-a-month church that was being put on for the homeless community. And I think one of the things that really excited me and got me eager about fighting hunger and homelessness at the same time is when we were setting up for the event, all these people were helping and I just thought they were volunteers. And then when we started to actually serve the food, they were all in line. I think a lot of times we look at people that are experiencing either a homelessness or hunger and think of them as less than or not up to par. But the reality is it could happen to any of us. I've had a lot of personal friends and family members that have been affected by hunger, and that's really when it got started for me. The idea sparked in 2008. When I moved to Atlanta, I was here for a few years, and one of my close friends, I found out that she was actually experiencing hunger. At an early age, I was introduced to philanthropy. My father, I would give a lot of the credit to. He always tells this story that when we were visiting Washington, D.C., when I was around 7 or 8, he took me down the street to a park and showed me a lot of people that were at the time sleeping at the park in a tent city and were experiencing homelessness. And he always tells me I would ask him the entire day and on that whole flight back, like, how can we help those people? Why don't they have anything? He's always encouraged my sister and I to give back. So he wanted us to be lawyers, he wanted us to be doctors, because he ultimately wanted us to be able to help people, whether it was bringing about justice or helping people live. Preparing for my first TED Talk was probably like a doctorate dissertation. It was a lot of work. You actually have to write out your entire speech. So my speech printed and typed was about 18 pages. So when I would print it out, it was very, very overwhelming. And it's important when you're doing a TED Talk that you stick to it word for word, because it's translated in so many different languages. And a lot of people are reading it that are deaf, that maybe can't hear it, or reading it on screen. So I would find myself, getting it down, and my coach would say, oh, you missed the in that sentence, or you miss, your story actually went like this, or you're supposed to say it like that. So it was a little frustrating to get to it, but towards the end I really was like, I want to shine, I want this to be a really great TED Talk. So I would just practice every morning. I would practice in the car, I wouldn't listen to music, and I just would practice at night before I went to bed. And then like the day before, I was like, I've got this. A few qualities that women I've been inspired by have. One is that they're virtuous. I think that it's really important that we live our lives with virtue. They've been very passionate, and they have not wavered from what it is that they wanted to do. I look at that also as being resilient. So even though they've been told multiple times it's not going to work or no one's interested, they kept going. And that really inspires me to see someone who made it past this struggle, who just continued to persevere. I believe that we can level up individually and be able to impact others, ultimately just being of service. I think a lot of times we say it, each one teach one, everyone brings someone along with you, but in reality we don't do that. There are people that you'll meet that'll give you their business card, and you'll say, hey, follow up with me, and that person will email, and then it never goes further than that. So I think the number one thing that we could do as women, especially as Black women, is not forget each other, and that when we get an opportunity, we put someone else on. And I think, especially with Goodr, one of our current contracts, one of our largest contracts, came from 2 Black women that saw what I was doing and really took my hand and said, okay, are you ready to scale? Are you ready to do this? And have walked me into a lot of doors. And now I'm really excited as I start seeing more opportunities to bring people like my sister and other people that I've mentored along, because I think everyone just needs that chance. So what's next for me is that I recently penned my first children's book series. It's called Giving is Good, and it's a 7-book series that explores ways that children can give back and create service projects. And the first one, of course, is around hunger.